So for those of you guys that's been keeping up with our awesome little Sri Lankan here, Silent Bob, we had a feeding success to some degree this past weekend. So the first meal he's taken, and we want to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the other things that we've got going on out here too. It's been really busy and it's going to continue to be that way. So we'll fill you guys in on what's been going on when we come back on Intrepid Exotics. Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. So for those of you guys that's been following along, you know that we got this Sri Lankan python a couple months ago, and we documented every handling session up through about 10 to the point where we got him to where we could get him out of the enclosure with no musks and no striking, and the 10th handling session went really well. So he's still a little edgy, he's still uncomfortable in his environment, and we was having a hard time getting him to eat. I was pulling every trick out of the hat that I could think of. So we're going to get him out right now, and we're going to kind of talk about how we got him to eat, why we did it, and maybe this will help some other folks too. So right now he's sleeping up there. So I'm going to try and get him out as quick as I can, and just get him out. Oh, hey buddy. And his face is right at me, which means that as soon as my hand goes in there, he's going to bite at it. So we're going to do it like this. I know, buddy. I know, you're just none too happy about being messed with. Just want his head facing the other direction for a second. Come on. You got all this space to move around in there now. Come on, buddy. I know. I know. Here we go. Come on. Get your tail out of the water. There you go, bud. So, like I said, he's still none too happy about coming out, as you can see. But, you know, again, like I said, you know, like the same experience that we had there in that 10th video, he doesn't musk when he comes out anymore. He is not that terrified. And, you know, he doesn't really commence to striking. You know, we did have that video that we put out here not too long ago where I brought him out during a live stream and he decided to take a shot at my face. But I think that's the only time he'd taken a shot at me. So I think what part of that was is I know right now that he really does not like the microphone. So, you know, maybe that microphone was just stressing him out while we was sitting there. And he decided to pop my face before he decided to hit the microphone. But anyway, as far as his feeding has gone, like I said, this has been a really challenging animal. Yeah, he's been kind of challenging to get to relax to begin with. And I think we'd hit just about the 3-month mark where he hadn't taken any food. Now I had tried tongue feeding him, he'd just attack it. I left him alone for a week, drop fed, he just ignored it. I left it in there for several hours, ended up having to throw it away because he didn't touch it. Tried seclusion with him, you know, putting him in a confined space with the prey item, and he didn't take that either. And every time that I've tried to tongue feed him, he just attacks it. So we had another attempt this past weekend, and he was starting to get just a little bit thin. Still not unhealthy, but I could see he was starting to thin down a little bit, and we was making zero progress with offering anything. So I made the decision to assist feed him this past weekend. And part of me thought about making a video on it, but as far as stuff like that, assist feeding can be tricky, and you know, it's not something that everybody should do. It really depends on your skill level. You know, he's a bigger animal, has a bigger food item that's a little bit more difficult to control than, say, if you got a hatchling or something like that and you've got to assist feed them. And I don't know that I would be comfortable with advising somebody to do it that's never done it before. Like I said, I spent a few months with my Burmese downstairs assist feeding her, and it went really well. By the time, we had gone through that for a while, she immediately just picked up, started eating on her own, and it didn't spoil our relationship at all, as you guys can see. But the long and short of it is, I want to make sure that he stays healthy. He may not like having food imposed on him, but we're going to do what we need to do to make sure he stays healthy and get him on track with eating. It's really kind of counterintuitive. You would think that putting an animal through that, holding their head, putting a prey item into their mouth and so forth, you think that would really sour them towards you. But again, with my berm downstairs, it hadn't affected her at all. She is just the sweetest thing. You can always see when I go down there, man, she's coming up to the glass and wants to come out. So I don't know what it is exactly that goes through their head when we do something like that. But, maybe they start to associate us with better things, food, more directly or something like that. It's hard to say. It's hard to look inside their head. But for somebody that was assist fed this past weekend, you can see he's got a really good chill demeanor right now, which I really love to see. He's still, like I say, he's doing really well, even with the, I thought that with him being really defensive and striking at the prey item and stuff, and the same way he's defensive when I first go into the enclosure, I thought that maybe getting him through a handling session, kind of get him calmed down a little bit, and then trying to offer may do something. We didn't have any luck at all. So he's going to take some coaxing, and we'll see. This next weekend we're going to go ahead and try and offer again. I'm not going to assist feed again this coming weekend. He's got that one good meal in him, and he's doing fine. So it would be normal for this species of snake to, skip a couple weeks sometimes. So I'm going to probably I'll offer him, not this weekend, but the next weekend, and see if he takes then. If he doesn't take then I'll probably give him till the following week. And we will do some assist feeding with him then. And we'll just continue this process until he gets it figured out and he starts slamming meals on his own. So, we know that he was doing that beforehand because he's such a healthy animal. He's got such a good body weight to him. And we just want to make sure that he maintains that. But as you can see, he's doing really well. We got that meal down him. He doesn't have any animosity towards me at this point, and we're still really happy with how he's doing. He still doesn't want anybody going into his enclosure, but as you can see, we had a little wrestling match getting him out, but again, hadn't struck at me, hadn't musked, he's not flailing around, he's just kind of out here chilling, happy to be out of the house. So hopefully he doesn't decide to bite me in the face again. But I really don't think so. So really the main thing with him is just making sure that he still feels secure up here. And I think he's going to do just fine. You won't see too many. Yeah. Got a little bit of anxiety there. We're going to go ahead and take him back down off my neck. See, that's it. It's all about paying attention to their cues. You try and take a little bit, If they don't like it, you got to give a little bit back. And it's just that give and take back and forth. And you can see I got him in a more comfortable position, and now he's chilled out again. Ain't you, bud? We're actually in the final stages of planning another educational event that's going to be taking place November 10th out at the Nido Children's Museum in High Point, North Carolina. Was approached by them a while back, and we managed to get all the details worked out. They've got a reptile week up there, the week of the 7th in November. So we've got a bunch of us together that's going to be going out there, taking some animals. We're going to have a couple school field trips coming through first, and then a little bit later that afternoon, going to be doing a just kind of open to the public type thing. This particular one is at the museum, so there's going to be, I don't know what the admission is going to be, but I know there's going to be one. But it's not going to be that much, I'm sure. I'll get all the details posted up on my Facebook page, and I'll put one more video out about it too for anybody out here that's local that really wants to come out. We'll go down the list of all the folks that we solidify that are going to be there, what animals are going to be there. I know we're going to have some big constrictors, working on some tortoises and monitor lizards, a lot of smaller colubrids and things like that. Maybe a couple other species of lizards as well, so it'll be a lot of fun. But just wanted to get this out to you guys really quick, kind of give you an update on how Bob's doing, let everybody see. I mean, he is really such a trooper, but God, is he a fighter. The snake is just, he's got his own personality, that's for sure. He's willing to chill out and work with you on his terms. And as long as you respect that, he does good. Make him do stuff that he doesn't want to do. You have a little bit of problems with him sometimes still. But he's doing awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put him back. If you haven't seen the whole series where we started from day one when we first got him home all the way up to the 10th handling session where we started to have really good success with handling him, then that's going to be in the end screen. I'll put that up there so you guys can start following along with that if you haven't. And we'll continue to put on updates. Oh, somebody's a little gassy, ain't you? They put him back before he decides to poo on me. Come on, bud. Are we going to do this again? Are you like in your I don't want to go home phase again? I mean, this is a really good sign, of course. This is something that he displayed about the 7th or 8th handling session where I'd start to put him back in the enclosure and he just didn't want to go. As opposed to the first few times where as soon as he's seen it, he darted away from me as fast as he could. But he's really making a lot of use out of this. He's got a couple different places where he can hide. I've got a radiant heat panel. Yeah, a hot one right here. Got a radiant heat panel under here so he can get top heat and a basking spot. He's got a little hide up here that he'll crawl into and he can bask off of the top of this platform. A couple different sides, a couple different perches and stuff like that. So he really does make full use of this thing. I see him periodically sitting all over this enclosure. But this is really his favorite spot. He likes to be up high. So, well, I don't want to mess with your tail, but I won't close it in the door either. So don't forget, guys, if you haven't seen the whole series with him, check it out. It's in the end screen. And we're going to do another live stream Saturday night at 8 p.m. It's going to be 7 or 8 p.m. Central. I'll put that out tomorrow. So tomorrow night, look on the Facebook. I'll have the link and everything up there for it. I know I'm forgetting something, but that's why we do the live stream. So that way, if you guys got any questions or anything Saturday night, I'll be there live. You can hit me up, and we'll see who pops in and shows up. And you never know who's going to end up just jumping on camera to say hello. So you guys have an outstanding day, and we'll see you next time on Intrepid Exotics.